A lot of people are actually against the community.
Do you personally dislike homosexuals?
Of course, they are disgusting.
We are not gays.
Well, after hearing that, a lot of the rainbow guys might be thinking, Africa is actually a hell place to be a rainbow man or a rainbow woman. Right. I think it's the fact that Africans actually don't kind of like rainbow people, but I don't think it's not that they actually don't. And of course, a lot of people kind of view it in this way, but I think the LGBT issue is not a problem. Right? I know a lot of people are actually forcing like these African presidents and other, countries to kind of like accept, the rainbow nation. So many Western leaders actually trying so much hard to, persuade like these African leaders to accept, the rainbow nation and actually, put certain laws into place.
We equally reject attempts to prescribe new rights that are contrary to our values, norms, traditions, and beliefs.
Right. I don't think they're actually homophobic, and most of them, like they call them, these guys, they're homophobic. I don't think they're homophobic. I think most of these countries kind of have like a certain culture, right? Like their laws, most of them like emanates from the cultural elements and values of those particular countries. So yeah, it makes sense for them not to refuse, but I don't think like they mistreat people who are actually LGBTQ or LGBT. I don't know the term, so forgive me. Yeah, because the LGBTQ issue is actually bigger. It's a sensible issue in the West, though. But in Africa, it's something else. Like, because first of all, there aren't many people or rainbow guys in Africa. So I don't think most of these countries have like a law in place to prosecute such people. It's something that people can do maybe in secret. But there are even some who are actually doing it openly. Right. Look, as much as people respect other people's choices, right? I think this point again, like for a law to be changed, there has to be a vote, right? You can't just pass a law. Many people should vote on either to pass a certain law or not. There are actually some presidents who are actually homophobic, but most of them are not. It's just that they don't care. Because that is the reason why, like, most of these African leaders are actually angry, like, with the West, like, when it comes to meeting, they bring issues like this, right? Oh, we must, craft laws that support the LGBTQ. First of all, they don't have that much of a community there. So you want people to try and turn their laws upside down because of your own views on certain issues. No, that is what they're trying to explain. That no, we know what you're saying, right? When that time comes, when there's an issue of the LGBTQ problem, we're actually going to do something about it. But as of now, we can't put a law when there's basically no issue in that regard. I think that is what most of them are trying to say. Of course, there are some African countries which actually are very hostile. Right? For example, like Uganda. And again, I don't think like Uganda was kind of like hard on the LGBT issue. I don't think so. It's just that they were trying to force force a certain narrative. That is why they kind of like refuse. Okay, fine. If you are trying to do this, we are going to do the opposite. That's what they did. I think these Western politicians should stop kind of pushing a certain agenda and forcing down on other people's throats, right? Because those people, it's not that they make a law. The law is made by people. So if the people don't like what you are saying, what do you expect them to do? And it just goes against their own culture. And it affects again on the aspect of population, especially when we're talking about Africa. Maybe in the West, you might do things such as artificial insemination and stuff to kind of just grow population, but not in Africa. There's such a thing. So people depend on the traditional way of giving birth. So if you are to try and cut that, it cuts the population. There are actually some other African countries which actually kind of support the LGBTQ, like South Africa, South Africa is one of them. Yeah, it's a safe haven, but I don't think every African country will accept such things. It's amazing. We are living in an amazing world, really.